In the quiet land of Moab lived a young woman named Ruth, a woman whose heart was full of kindness, humility, and unusual strength. She wasn't born into a powerful family. She wasn't rich. She wasn't educated in the ways of influence. But she had something many people lack, a heart that loved deeply and remained loyal even when life became painfully hard. Ruth married into a foreign family from Bethlehem, a family that had run away from hunger looking for a better life in Moab. For a while, everything seemed peaceful, but suddenly tragedy arrived like a storm. Her father-in-law died. Her brother-in-law died. Then the worst happened. Ruth's own husband died too. Naomi, her mother-in-law, was crushed by sorrow. She felt empty. She felt abandoned. She felt her life was over. One day, she decided to return home to Bethlehem, her homeland. She looked at her two daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah, and said with a trembling voice, "Go back to your own families. I have nothing left to offer you." Orpah wept, hugged Naomi, and eventually turned back. But Ruth stood there silently for a moment, looking at Naomi's wrinkled face, tired eyes, and shaking shoulders. She knew Naomi had no one left. No husband, no sons, no wealth, no future. Many people choose loyalty when life is easy, but Ruth chose loyalty when life was bitter. With tears in her eyes, she walked closer and said the words that changed her destiny forever. "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." It was more than a promise. It was an act of love. It was a commitment to stand by someone who had nothing left to give her. And so Ruth walked with Naomi to Bethlehem, a city she didn't know, a culture she didn't understand, a people who looked at her as a foreigner. She could have complained. She could have felt sorry for herself. She could have blamed God for her loss, but instead she chose to work. Every morning, Ruth woke up before sunrise. She went into the fields to pick leftovers, tiny grains the harvesters accidentally dropped. It was the work of the poor, the work nobody admired. Yet she did it with joy and humility, not minding who was watching. Her consistency caught someone's attention. A wealthy landowner named Boaz noticed her, not because of her beauty, not because she begged for help, but because of her character. He heard how she took care of Naomi. He saw how hard she worked. He noticed how respectful she was. He saw how she carried herself, with dignity even in poverty. Boaz became impressed. He protected her. He provided for her. He treated her with unexpected kindness. And gradually, God began rewriting Ruth's story. Not because she forced it, not because she fought for it, but because she was faithful in the little things. One day, the same Ruth who bent down to pick leftover grains became the honored wife of Boaz. The same Ruth who had no future became a mother. The same Ruth who came from a foreign land became the great-grandmother of King David and part of the lineage of Jesus Christ. Think about that: a widow, a foreigner, a poor woman with no special status. God used her to shape history. Life lessons from Ruth's story. 1. Your background doesn't limit your future. Ruth came from a place nobody expected anything great from, yet God lifted her beyond human imagination. 2. Loyalty is a powerful seed. When you stay faithful to the people God puts in your life, He rewards you in ways you never expect. 3. To hard work attracts favor. Ruth didn't sit down waiting for miracles. She worked. And God honored her effort by connecting her with the right people. 4. God sees your hidden sacrifices. Even when no one claps for you, God is watching. Ruth's secret faithfulness brought public blessings. Your story is not over. Ruth's life began with pain but ended in glory. No matter how broken things look now, God can still rewrite your destiny. More inspiration from Ruth. You may be like Ruth today, starting again, feeling empty, or walking through an unfamiliar season. You may be working quietly with no recognition. You may be giving your best and receiving nothing in return. But hear this: God never forgets loyalty. God never ignores hard work. God never wastes pain. Just like Ruth, God is preparing a harvest for you. Your story will end in joy, elevation, and divine surprise.